Welcome to AmdiVibes, where today we are talking about a diamond. Not just any diamond, a 45.52 carat deep blue diamond of such extraordinary beauty that every person who has ever seen it has been stopped cold. A diamond with a history so saturated with death, misfortune, and catastrophe that the list of people destroyed by owning it reads like a particularly brutal history of Europe. A diamond that currently sits, under heavy security, behind bulletproof glass, in the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., where it has been donated by its last private owner, who gave it away because she was afraid of it. This is the story of the Hope Diamond, and the 400-year trail of ruin it left behind. It starts in India, in the Kalar mine of the Golconda region, the source of the most extraordinary diamonds in the ancient world. Sometime in the early 17th century, a large blue diamond is mined, approximately 112 carats in its rough state. A color so rare, a deep, vivid blue unlike almost anything else in the natural world, that it was immediately understood as something exceptional. The stone comes to the attention of a French merchant traveler named Jean-Baptiste Tavernier. He buys it, or steals it. The historical record is ambiguous, and the ambiguity matters, because the legend of the curse begins here. The most dramatic version of the story holds that the diamond was stolen from the eye of a sacred Hindu idol, that the god whose eye was taken placed a curse on everyone who would ever possess the stone. The historical evidence for the idol story is thin, but the pattern of misfortune that follows the diamond is not thin at all. Tavernier sells the diamond to King Louis XIV of France. Shortly afterward, Tavernier travels to Russia. He is mauled to death by wild dogs. Louis XIV has the diamond recut. It becomes the French blue 67-carat stone of extraordinary brilliance. He wears it on a ribbon around his neck at state occasions. Louis XIV dies of gangrene, a painful, prolonged death. The diamond passes to Louis XV, then to Louis XVI. Louis XVI and his wife Marie Antoinette, who wear the diamond at the most glittering court in Europe, are arrested in the French Revolution and executed by guillotine. The French blue disappears during the chaos of the revolution. Stolen, lost in the upheaval of a civilization tearing itself apart. It resurfaces in London 20 years later, recut again, smaller now, 45.52 carats. Different enough in size that its connection to the French blue is initially not established. It is purchased by a London banker named Henry Philip Hope, and from his name, the diamond takes the name by which history will remember it forever. The Hope Diamond. Here at AmdiVibes, this is where the curse accelerates. The Hope family acquires the diamond and almost immediately begins to fall apart. Henry Philip Hope dies. The diamond passes through his family, generating legal disputes, broken inheritances, and financial ruin across multiple generations. The Hope family fortune, once enormous, is dismantled piece by piece. The diamond is eventually sold to cover debts. It passes through a succession of owners in the late 19th century. Each acquisition is followed by misfortune with a consistency that begins to attract attention from people not inclined to believe in curses. A Greek owner drives off a cliff. A Russian prince gives it to a dancer he is infatuated with. He later shoots her. A Turkish sultan purchases it. His empire begins to collapse. He sells it. An American heiress named Evelyn Walsh McLean buys it in 1911, and the Hope Diamond enters its most documented and most devastating chapter. Evelyn Walsh McLean is one of the wealthiest women in America. Confident, glamorous, fearless. She is warned about the diamond's reputation. She does not care. She buys it, wears it constantly, shows it off, loans it to friends to wear at parties. What follows is a chronicle of loss that would be difficult to believe if it were not so thoroughly documented. Her firstborn son is killed in a car accident at the age of 9. Her daughter dies of a drug overdose at 25. Her husband goes insane, certified mentally incompetent, and committed to an asylum. Her family newspaper, The Washington Post, is sold to pay debts. Evelyn Walsh McLean dies in 1947, still wearing the diamond, still refusing to admit it had anything to do with her suffering. After her death, the diamond is sold to pay estate debts. It is purchased by a New York jeweler named Harry Winston. Winston donates it to the Smithsonian Institution in 1958. He mails it there, in a plain brown paper package, by registered mail. Here at AmdiVibes, let us look at what we actually know. The Hope diamond is blue because of trace amounts of boron in its crystal structure. That is the chemistry. Documented, uncontested. It is also phosphorescent. Under ultraviolet light, it glows a deep, eerie red. A phenomenon so unusual that gemologists who first documented it found it deeply unsettling. A blue diamond that bleeds red in the dark. The curse itself, is it real? The scientific community says no. The pattern of misfortune, they argue, is selection bias. We remember the disasters connected to famous objects. We forget the uneventful years. We construct narratives from coincidence. That argument is reasonable, but it does not fully account for the density and specificity of what happened to the people on this list. Louis XV and Marie Antoinette, guillotined. The Hope family, financially destroyed across generations. Evelyn Walsh McLean, son dead, daughter dead, husband insane, fortune gone. The pattern is real, even if the explanation is disputed. And then there is the postman. James Todd was the US postal carrier who delivered the Hope diamond to the Smithsonian in 1958. In the months following the delivery, he injured his leg in a truck accident. His wife died. His house burned down. His dog was killed. He told reporters he had no regrets about the delivery. Does the curse require personal ownership? Does it require the intimacy of wearing something against your skin? Of calling something yours? Is it the possession that triggers it, or the attachment? So what does the story of the Hope diamond teach us? It teaches us that the things we possess can possess us back. Every person on this list who suffered most dramatically was someone who loved the diamond, who wore it, who displayed it, who made it part of their identity. Evelyn Walsh McLean refused to take it off even as everything around her fell apart. Even as the losses mounted, even as people told her that the stone was destroying her life, she could not let it go. And whether that inability was caused by a curse, or by the human psychology of attachment, the result was the same. The diamond stayed. The suffering continued. The second lesson is about the stories we tell around beautiful things. The Hope diamond is extraordinarily beautiful, and real, exceptional, almost supernatural beauty, has always attracted stories, has always generated myths, has always made people feel that something so remarkable must carry weight beyond the physical. The curse may be real. The curse may be pattern recognition. The curse may be the unconscious choices of people who acquire something famous for its destructive history and somehow manage to live out that history. All three of those explanations are terrifying in different ways. And the final lesson is the most practical. Harry Winston mailed the Hope diamond in a brown paper package. Not out of carelessness. Out of, perhaps, a certain wisdom about the relationship between distance and danger. He did not wear it, did not display it at parties, did not make it part of his identity. He let it go, and he died peacefully at 82 years old. The lesson might simply be this: know when to let go of beautiful things before they stop being yours and start being you. Here at AmdiVibes, we tell these stories because the most extraordinary lessons are sometimes hiding inside the most beautiful objects. If this story gripped you, share it with someone today. Subscribe to AmdiVibes for more stories that reach into the darkest corners of human history. We'll see you in the next one.